will move up and it will touch towards the RBI's repo rate. Let us exemplify. Let us talk about an example. For example, if the CRR is reduced by RBI, CRR means mitro cash reserve ratio. It is reduced by Reserve Bank of India, then call rate will fall because there is a positive correlation between the cash reserve ratio margin and the call rate. And when the CRR is raised, the call rate will rise. The call rate will rise, and through this, the RBI will inject the liquidity through repo operations, which we have just seen. And finally, it will just curb the upward movement of the call rate, and RBI will absorb the liquidity through reverse repo operations. And finally, we can say if it goes for the curbing the reverse repo operations, we can say that the downward movement of the call rate will be arrested. So all these mechanisms are quite important to be known for each and everybody to understand how it plays a very important role in the economy of a particular market. Now, let us understand the next rate, which is about bond rate. But before understanding the bond rate, let us know something about the bond market. Friends, bond market refers to a market in which fixed income securities of various types and features are issued as well as traded. It includes private corporate bonds or debentures market, public undertaking bonds or debentures market, and government securities market. In India, government securities market is largest segment of the bond market, accounting for over 90% of total turnover in it. Means friends, bond market માં જેટલી પણ securities વેચાય છે એની 90% securities are nothing but the government securities. Now that particular securities are sold in a market or purchased in a market which is known as bond market. So therefore, to know what would be the future bond rate or what is the current bond rate and how the bond rate implications will affect the market is also of prime importance. Let us know that. One of the important sources of borrowings for the government is a bond market. The government will raise the short-term and long-term funds by issuing the securities. Which type of securities? Either let us say treasury bills or central government securities or state government securities. These securities are called gilt-edged securities because they do not carry any risk and are as good as gold. Means this entire securities are based on a return which is called risk-free rate of return. Here there is no risk. Compulsorily or mandatorily that much rate of return will be definitely yielded by those securities. The open market operations of RBI, which is again a part of the monetary policy variable, and the statutory liquidity ratio of the banks, both are closely connected with the government securities market. So when I am talking of SLR as well as open market operation, they both are the variables of the particular monetary policy decided by the Reserve Bank of India. Now they are both closely connected with the securities market. Currently, friends, the statutory liquidity ratio is 20.50%. Now, the government securities, if we say, they are classified into two types. They are treasury bills and government dated securities. The government dated securities bear the different rates of interest depending on their maturity period and the other features. Means the maturity period will be different for each and every particular different type of security. The auction system for the sale of medium and long term securities was introduced on 3rd June 1992. Since then, the bond rates have become market determined. Means whatever is happening in the markets, the bond rates will be subject to those happenings. The interest income is fixed and hence these securities are called fixed income securities. Let us say for example, if the company issues a debenture or a bond, then that is being purchased by an investor, the investor will definitely receive a fixed rate of return irrespective of whether the profit or loss exists to the company. It is nothing but a fixed rate of return which is yielded by the investor. So in such we can, in nutshell, we can say that a debt market or a bond market is a particular market where such securities are being traded which will give you fixed income or fixed return. The government securities are predominantly coupon bearing and coupon is paid on 360 days basis. So coupon is nothing but the rate of interest. However, there are floating rate securities and zero coupon securities also. Zero coupon securities is nothing but wherein the interest component is paid for indefinite time period. Treasury bills are also short-term obligations issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of Government of India through weekly or fortnightly auctions to manage the cash positions of the government. So when I'm talking of weekly, weekly means 7 days and fortnightly means 15 days. So every 15 days we can say the treasury bills are being purchased or sold in order to ensure that the government has enough cash on hand in order to mitigate the unforeseen or contingency situations. While we can say that the dated securities are medium and long-term obligations issued by Reserve Bank of India on behalf of the Government of India to finance budget deficit and public sector government programs. So we can say the government dated securities are very important aspect for the fiscal policy to be decided by government. What will happen? These government dated securities, which are medium or long term in nature, will help us to finance the deficit, or we can say that the public sector government programs can be easily funded by the revenue generated from this type of medium term or long term securities. Not only that, large borrowings by the government have continuously raised the rates of interest in the economy, making it difficult for the private corporates to raise the funds through the issue of the equity shares. So when we compare two things, one which is ownership equity, another which is borrowed capital, the bond represents the borrowed capital. In such particular case, what happens, the rate of the bond is, or we can say the rate of debenture is definitely going to avail a very fixed income to the investor. In such case, it scores more as compared to what the equity market will definitely generate. Now, let us talk about the deposit rates. The deposit rates are nothing but the rate of interest the commercial banks pay on the deposit which they mobilize from the public. In past, these rates were administered by Reserve Bank of India. Friends, I would like to tell you, deposit rates is nothing but when we put our money in bank for a particular time period, the rate of return which an investor generates by depositing the money in the banks in form of fixed deposits or recurring deposits are nothing but the deposit rates. Now this will be income for the investor, but that particular rates which the commercial banks give to the investor will be expense for them. Now, who decides such deposit rates? Of course, friends, it is none other than Reserve Bank of India. Effective from April 22nd, 1992, the banks were given freedom to determine the terms of deposits of 3 maturity slabs of their choice, subject to a ceiling rate of interest not exceeding 13%. So, friends, what was decided from year 1992 onwards, that the maximum rate of interest yielded on the deposits put by the investors with the bank will be 13%. It won't go beyond that. Yes, it will remain below that, or for example, we can say it would like to remain between 8% to 12%. But yes, if there is inflation, then definitely we can see the changes in that particular rate also. Now, let us understand the other aspect of the deposit rate. To impart the greater flexibility to the rate structure, the banks are allowed to fix their own interest rate on the term deposits of all categories. So when we say term deposits of all categories, it might be either a short term or a medium term or long term deposits. Now these deposits, the banks are definitely permitted to decide. Now when we talk of the rates of deposits, let us say for example, if an investor is having the age or is of more than 60 years of age, then we say they are senior citizens. Now for them, the government definitely has provided a scheme wherein the rate of the term deposits have increased by 0.5% to 1%. Means if the deposits are being monitored by the bank and they are received from the senior citizens, they will definitely receive 1% more interest rates as compared to what the individual has deposited who is not a senior citizen. Now, not only that, but friends, I would like to also make you aware that everybody has their bank accounts. Now, these particular bank accounts are nothing but either savings bank account or current account, which we popularly know as CASA, current account and savings account. Now, the rate of once whatever money is already deposited in our account, now that will also yield certain rate of interest. Now, it has reduced from 4.5% to 4% in 2000 and currently it is less than 4% also in the public sector banks. Now, let us talk about the further aspects which is studying about the lending rates. Now, these are the rates of the interest the bank charges on their loans. Now, friends, before few minutes also I told about various different types of loans. Let us say, for example, a popular loan is known as home loan, wherein we want to purchase a house. We are not having sufficient amount of corpus or money to purchase the entire property in cash. So what happens? We approach bank and for that the bank lends us the money based on our income criteria as well as risk taking capacity criteria, as well as by knowing the different type of obligation which the borrower is already having. Now, in such particular case, what will happen? The bank will charge a particular rate of interest because bank is lending money and nothing is available free of cost, friends, in the market. So the bank also charges some particular rate which is known as lending rate for the bank. It will definitely give income to the bank and it will be expense for the person who will avail the loan. Since nationalization of banks in 1969, lending rate structure prescribed by the RBI was very complicated. There were multiplicity of rates. There were manifold rates. बहु बधा rates था मित्रों. We can say that every particular 2 months or 4 months or 6 months, you will find that the rate of the loans which the particular banks are providing to their customers will change because it is based on the particular policy decisions of Reserve Bank of India as well as the interest rate regime. If there is any deviation in those particular regimes, then definitely the interest rate will change. Which interest rate? The lending rate at which the particular banks advance their money in form of loans to their customers or their borrowers. Okay, now not only that, we said the lending rates will change. Why the lending rates will change? Because we can say that criteria such as size of loan, the period of loan, the income of the borrower, the location of the project, as well as the type of the sector in which the loans are being advanced, they are also of prime importance for evaluation of the lending rate in the Indian economy. Since 1991, after the liberalization, RBI is seen rationalizing the lending rate structure so that even the banks also earn and the investor are also not aggrieved that they have to pay exorbitant rate of interest. Both the parties have to meet a win-win situation and that particular situation is being created by Reserve Bank of India. We can say not created, but yes, Reserve Bank of India is trying to create a win-win situation for both the parties, that is either the borrower or the bank. Now, let us see the most important aspect of a lending rate. The most important aspect of a lending rate, friends, is nothing but they are linked with the size of the loan. When I am talking about the size of the loan, that how much amount the particular bank is going to give the particular as a loan to the customer. The number of rates is reduced from 6 to 3 under differential rate interest scheme. Term loans are provided to the priority sectors at a concessional rate of 4%. So if we say that the particular term loan is very short in nature or it is for a medium term, then definitely the lending rate would be low as compared to the loan which are particularly charged for a longer time period. Also, not only that, but the type of the sector to which the particular bank advances, that also is of significant importance. Now we can say that which type of sector the bank advances the loan to. It is nothing but a priority sector, which is nothing but we can say agricultural sector, in case the particular banks lend the money to the borrowers who want, let us say for example, the people who are engaged into agriculture operations, they require the money, and for that the bank lend them, and such particular lending is nothing but it is 40% of the total advances to the priority sector. So let us say for example, friends, if the bank is lending 100 rupees, now bank has a capacity to lend 100 rupees. Out of 100 rupees, 40 to the extent of 40 rupees, the priority sector will be given the money by the bank for a particular rate of interest. Now the next is nothing but the bill rate. Like treasury bills, the bill market, there is a market for commercial bills also. These bills are issued by in the firms engaged in the business. Friends, we would have easily known that when I am talking of a commercial bill, there are two parties which are created. One is debtor and another is creditor. So let us say for example, if the bank lends the money and a particular bill is being given to the particular borrower, then that will be bills receivable for the borrower, and here it will be bills payable for the commercial bank. Generally, the maturity period of such bill is 3 months. The bills are like post-dated checks drawn by the seller of goods on the buyers of the goods for the value received. So in this particular case, friends, when these bills are issued by the bank, what happens that after 3 months, the bank is going to receive money from that for that particular bill, which is going to mature after 3 months. Now, we can say further, these bills are very important device for providing the short-term finance to trade and industry. See, bill market is a very important market wherein it will definitely provide funds for on short-term basis to finance any trade or any industry. Let us say for example, we want the bilateral trade relationship between the two prospective buyers and the sellers, then definitely the bill market will be one of the important market which will signify those relationships. Now, the rate of interest charged in the bill market is known as either bill rate or discount rate. The drawer can sell the bill in the market for cash or can get the bill discounted by a commercial bank. Let us understand with an example, friends. Let us say for example, there are two parties, party A and party B.